Right, everyone, here we are with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. And to all the first-time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. And to all the subscribers, welcome back. All I ask for in return is for you to smash that like button to let me know you watch this video. And in this video, we're going to discuss everything you need to know about Safemoon up to what I know so far, to the best of my knowledge. I've been watching this since it launched and how it's been reacting. It hasn't been out for so long. If you actually really think about it, it's only been around for about a month and a half, going into 2 months. And this crypto right now itself, this coin, is very volatile and it has a purpose on the long term. So we're going to have to see if Safemoon can actually make this happen. So we're going to talk about the ins and outs in just a moment. But before we do, I do want to let you guys know I have a Discord. We're 100 plus members already. And in that Discord, we're looking for daily movers, guys. Every single day, you guys will know my daily watch list, as well as my weekly watch list over at the Patreon once you join. Tiers are filling up pretty quickly. We're 100 plus members already over at the Discord and Patreon collectively, filled with smart, intelligent investors, all looking to grow and learn to maximize profits and minimize losses. So let me give you guys an example of one that we called out on Friday. We usually look for 5 to 10% on a good day. A great day is 10 to 20. And 20% beyond is a home run. So SYPR, I talked about it early in the morning, 8:34 on April 23rd. It was sitting at 360 when I talked about it. And when we look here at the charts, when I mentioned it, the low of the day right after it, right? So even when I mentioned it, or even that little dip right there of like 20 cents was a phenomenal entry. It gave us 10% plus in a matter of minutes. And if you held on through the day, there was so many opportunities to make 20%, 30, 40, and even 50% plus at the peak of the day at 580, guys. So if this is something that interests you, you can join us on over. The links are down below. And this is another one here that I went ahead and mentioned on Thursday. NOVN, I was talking about it when it was at 127. And right after, in a few minutes, right, it started dipping and it ran. It gave us 8 to 10% early on in the morning when I mentioned it. And then it dipped right after really hard. And this was probably the best entry of the day if you were watching it closely. You put your stop loss and so forth. And if it doesn't get triggered, you ride this one up, giving 25% plus on the day, guys. And then if we go back to Wednesday, Tuesday, and several days back, this is another one here that I went ahead and mentioned. Hoth went well for us as well, but OBLN, it had ran and it was sitting at 270, guys. And when we look here at the chart, when I mentioned it, it dipped a little bit, ran up giving 5%, dipped right back. So if your stop loss was in 5-10%, it really wouldn't have triggered. You would still be holding, watching this one closely, and it took off within minutes, guys. 30 to 40 minutes. 20% plus. So if this is all something you're looking into and you're interested in, you're more than welcome to join us, and we look forward to having you join us. We're 100 plus members, all intelligent and smart investors looking to grow and maximize profits. There's a lot of hype here with Safemoon, and I want to make a video discussing the ins and outs of what's going on here. A lot of investors might be aware, they might not be aware, and I want to talk about the good and the bad, guys. And then the worst. The worst is that it just goes back to being worthless, and this plan that Safemoon has to safely, quote unquote, as they call it, and that's their slogan, take us all to the moon as investors, right, that invest in this Safemoon coin or crypto, doesn't work out. It's just going to fall, guys, right? It's just going to fall. But the one thing I do want you guys to be aware of is that the bad is a lot of investors might catch on to the amount of fee, and all they really got to do is be a little bit above that fee, and they can offset the fee and take profits. So it can make this actually become very stagnant, right? Instead of actually moving upwards. Right now we're consolidating here, which is pretty good. And guys, I'm not going to say all the zeros that are in front of it. I need you guys to count them. There's actually 5 zeros, I believe, here. As I could see, yeah, there's 5 zeros and then a 4. So I'm just going to call it by the amount of zeros and then the number. So this is 5 zeros and a 4. This is 5 zeros and a 6. And we're consolidating there. This is the support right now. And 5 zeros and a 7 need to be broken through. I do want you guys to go ahead and be aware of this. This needs to be broken through to start building momentum. And the highest was 4 zeros and a 1. So could that be broken through and reached again? Certainly. So we're going to talk about the good and the bad. The bad is that, like I said, investors catch on to offset that fee for selling and take the small profits and continue doing that. And it's just going to leave it kind of stagnant, not really running up much higher or causing these big sell-offs after a run, which would basically be a crazy roller coaster of up, down, up, down, up, down, and never going safely to the moon, like they call it. So let's look here at 6 things you want to be aware of if you're not aware of this. So Safemoon is a decentralized finance token. Obviously, anything crypto is most likely this, and they're trying to centralize these, but right now they're all decentralized. So yes, you want to be aware of that. It's a cryptocurrency, and if you don't know much about this, do your research on a basically DeFi token, right? Or DeFi. Its value has rocketed since launch. It certainly has. I mean, it was way down here, right? And it went even higher than this, than where it was at here. So yeah, pretty explosive run. And there's a reason behind that, which we're going to talk about in just a moment. They're calling it a pyramid scheme. I don't really know much information into this, but this is something to be aware of. And one of the biggest things is you're rewarded when you buy and hold onto the cryptocurrency, and when you sell, you get hit with a penalty. So that's something to be aware of. So they're basically, not artificially, but they're selling the idea of holding, making the whole entire coin go higher. Now, the name, right, Safely to the Moon, it's almost like a pun not intended, as well as a slogan. And we don't really know how safe the ride to the moon could be, but it could be rocky, it could be well, but that's something to also kind of be a little hesitant on, just with the name unknown. Then also, investing is risky. You can lose it all. That's very true. That's whether it's a cryptocurrency or anything. And then they're saying it's unknown if Safemoon is legit. It's only been out for a month and a half, almost 2 months. So very important, all these key factors here. Now, they all kind of seem negative here. There's nothing positive being said about Safemoon, but I have a positive approach on all of this. So cryptocurrency, that falls into the category of any crypto or any investment, actually. Also, the fact that it ran high, yeah, you want to be a little hesitant. We need to watch this, and that's what we're looking for here, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment. And then the pyramid scheme, there's need to be more research or some type of confirmation. That could just be a negative catalyst being said out there or posted. The name, yes, it could be a little bit of a misconception with it, but at the end of the day, a lot of people are saying that Safemoon could be the next Doji. It did increase, and it seems to have some type of correlation indirectly or directly to it, because when Dogecoin fell, Safemoon fell. So that's something to watch too. Investing is risky no matter what you invest in, and it's unknown. Well, yeah, a lot of cryptocurrencies are unknown. At least Safemoon has a structure, and Dogecoin is just a meme and a joke. So a lot of people are saying Safemoon could be the next Dogecoin, and it could possibly even explode to higher highs than we've seen Dogecoin even create, right? Like percentage-wise. And it already has proven that, but could it continue, right? So the biggest thing is paying attention to the 5 zeros and a 7 ahead of it. That needs to be broken through so this can hit newer highs. It's kind of consolidating at 5 zeros, right, to the decimal places and 6. And then we have 5 zeros to the decimal places of 4 here. And that, if that gets broken through, this could be on its way down to newer lows. So there's some strength here. And what is creating this cryptocurrency to hold itself up? It's the fact of basically what was said here about this whole entire Ponzi scheme. That basically they reward who buy and hold onto the cryptocurrency, while those that sell the currency will be slapped with a penalty. So that penalty right there is what's making people more hesitant to sell. But if you got in down here, right, and it went up this high and you saw it pull back just a little bit, like around here, right, that middle part, anyone would sell their investment due to the fact that after hitting that high and it's already falling, the penalty has nothing to do with your gains. So if you are gaining more than the penalty is actually worth, you offset the penalty and you take your profits, right? So that's what a lot of investors might catch on to, and it's not going to allow this to safely go to the moon. That's the only thing that isn't looking so strong right now about this, right? It's actually making it seem like, yeah, it can go to a moon for a certain amount of time, but if people start catching on that the penalty is only worth, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, I don't know exactly how much it is, but 10%, and you're up like 80%, you'd rather take your 70% before this falls back down to 30% gain, and then you have to pay, your 10%, you leave with 20%. So there's going to be a lot of spikes, ups and downs, because once investors see enough profit, they're going to rather take that profit and pay that penalty and then get in at a lower cost and then ride it back up when more investors come in than to go ahead and have to hold through all the volatility. But if you are one of the investors that got in this low or anywhere around here and you're holding right now, this might ride up again and even higher. And for holding, you're going to get rewarded safely, quote unquote, to the moon, because the longer you hold and the more investors realize that holding can get them higher and higher and higher, there's going to be a point where people aren't going to want to pay the penalty. If not, ride this up to newer highs. So if this concept continues to work as they plan to motivate investors to stay and not sell, this will go to the moon. I don't know how safe the ride will be, but it will go to the moon unless we already saw it for now. But that is the one thing that makes this have the possibility to hit newer highs. The fact that it can actually instigate, right, investors to stay. It promotes it. It wants investors to stay so that collectively it can continue to compound to the upside. And investors that want to stay are going to avoid paying that fee. But more investors will realize over time that taking your profits and paying the small fee and catching it at the next dip is a lot more profitable than sitting around and waiting through the whole volatility. And that's going to kind of make Safemoon's approach and plan stagnate the whole entire coin, or make it very volatile to the point that it's not really safely going to the moon. If not, it's constantly up and down, up and down, up and down, sideways. But if it compounds as they plan and their penalty makes investors stay, this will go to the moon. That's just the best way to look at it. There's two, sides to the coin, and we need to be aware of it. I'm not saying it can't go to the moon. I am just saying that the safe ride to the moon isn't as safe as they go ahead and plan it to be. That's normal. The volatility is there. And that penalty is really what's making investors hold and ride this up. But like I said, once this got up here and it started to fall a little bit, investors were probably like, I'd rather take my profits and pay that small penalty than to watch it dissipate, right? And that's the one thing that's going to continue to happen the higher this goes, unless investors realize, wow, if I would have just held from the beginning and I would have just held right here instead of selling at the next spike, if there is another spike, hypothetically speaking, and this shoots up and someday it's worth literally 1 penny, that was a ride to the moon for sure. I don't know how safe it was, but it was a ride to the moon 100% as you see it at that point. And investors will realize, man, that penalty, it didn't really hurt me when I was selling at a profit, but if I would have just held and realized that that penalty is making investors stay, I could have rolled this up to newer highs and newer levels. So very interesting. And as always, guys, if you learned something new, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to smash the like button to let me know you watch this video. It helps out the YouTube channel. And thank you guys so much for watching.